Hi, I'm Amanda Mertz at Did You Stamp Today, and today I'm going to show you how to make this fun fold that opens up like this, and you've got lots of places to put some fun designer series paper and specialty paper and add lots of accents on the front. Join me and find out how to make this cute card. All right, I'm ready to get started to show you how to make this really quick and easy fun fold, and I'm using the Autumn Leaves Suite, the stamp set and the dies and the All About Autumn designer series paper to make this fun little, I don't know even what it's called, a flip card or what, but my downline in Texas, Kimberly Heil, you might know her online as Scatter Some Joy. She sent me a sample that she used this layout for, and I thought it was so cute, and a bunch of my customers saw it and they wanted to learn how to make it, so we made it in my last class, and I just switched out what I was going to use since I wanted to feature the All About Autumn designer series paper and some of the copper accents. So let's get started. It's really easy. So we're going to start with our card base, which is 4.5 by 11. So just cut it down, a full sheet cut down the long way. And we're going to do a little bit of scoring. Just make sure that hopefully you can kind of see the numbers there and the glare from the light doesn't get too much in the way. So we're going to score first at 2 1/8. I'm going to line that one up right there, 2 1/8. Then you're going to slide it down and score at 5 1/2. And next we're going to mark. All right, I'll just show you this. It makes it easier to see how it's going to go together. So it's folded in half, and then this is going to be the flap. So on the part that you've scored with the flap, you're just going to mark 2 1/8, and that's halfway down. Let me make sure I'm in the right one. I don't usually use the scoreboard, but it's easier to show on camera. Where's my pencil? There it is. I'm losing all my stuff here. You're just going to mark the 2 1/8 because that's where you need to know to make our cuts. Oops, there we go. So 2 1/8. So that's halfway down the flap from the opening. So next, what you're going to do, you're going to line your, I guess, the score in the channel to cut, and then you're going to swing. Let me move this more. It's harder to see, but right here is where our 2 1/8 mark is. So I usually just line one up in the channel and then swing it over so the other one matches. And we're just going to slide our cutting blade and just cut that corner off. And then we're going to do the same. It's easier this way. That's our fold. You're just going to swing it around until the point also is in the channel, the cutting channel. I'm just going to cut that. And that's all you needed to do. And there we go. That's all that it takes. So you're going to score at 2 1/8, 5 1/2, and then you're going to mark that top piece so you know where to cut off the corners. You're going to mark that at 2 1/8 too. And that's it. That's all there is to this fold. It's super easy. I know you can do it. Just go slow with your marking. Make sure everything's lined up. And just to make things lay flat, I'm going to give a nice good crease with my bone folder. And the offcuts we're not going to use. You can save them for scraps or just recycle. However you do your scraps is fine. And let's see, what else are we going to do here? Other supplies that I'm using 2 pieces of Very Vanilla, and these are both cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And then I've got a piece of the oxidized copper, and this one, let me just measure, 3 by 4, and this one is going to go right here. And then I have a piece of the All About Autumn, and you can use any of these patterns work. I just happened to grab this one that I had already cut. And this one is also 3x4, and this one is going to go right here. So I'm going to glue those down really quick. And on the opposite, you can use this side too, but I was going for the pattern. Since fall is coming to a close and I won't have much time to use any fall themes for much longer, our leaves are getting a lot of color the last week or so, but one good rainstorm, a little bit of wind, and they'll be all down, and then fall will be over. Oops, it's a little bit of extra glue. I don't need quite that much. Let's see. Take off some of that. Don't want it blobbing out into my card, preventing it from opening. You want everything to stay free folding. There we go. And I have this piece of Early Espresso that I've already pre-embossed with the Distress Tile embossing folder. And that's gonna go right there. Actually, first I can still see a little bit of my pencil mark. Let me just erase that real quick. And since this is gonna go like this and you wanna still be able to open everything, you only wanna put your adhesive on the one side. You don't want it to creep over and end up closing your flap permanently. So I'm just going to use a little bit of tear and tape, a little strip there and a little strip there, and that should hold it nice and steady. I'm going to pick these off. Short nails don't work with that tear and tape where you've got to try to pull it off. Right, get that lined up, furnish that down nicely, and next I'm gonna set that aside and we're gonna do our stamping. So on our other piece of, one of the pieces of 4 by 5 1/4, we're gonna stamp all of our leaves, and I'm going to be using the Maple Leaf, and that's going to be stamped in Copper Clay, which is one of the newer ink colors. I don't know if it's new yet. We've had almost 6 months with it. We're going to stamp that there, set that aside. Then we're going to stamp the Oak Leaf from that set in Mossy Meadow. And then we're going to stamp the 2 leaves that are on the same stamp in Pretty Peacock. And plenty of room to stamp all those on that. I usually do this for my classes. We made this the other day, so this is an extra card pack. So I like to give them one big sheet and they can spread out, and then that way you can put it all on the die at once without having lots of little pieces of paper that you're trying to manage as you're in the line to go to the die cutter. Something will get lost or you can't find it on your table. And then let's do our sentiment. I don't need that one yet. Let's see, another scrap. What do I need, and what sentiment do I want? I put out a lot of the sentiments from the Go-To Greeting stamp set, so my stampers could choose whichever one they needed. The Just a Note, Thank You, Thinking of You, and then these all fit in the die that we're going to be using for that, which is this fun, the little label die that comes in the Autumn Leaves die set. So all of those will fit in there without getting cut off. But let's see, I don't know, what do I want? Just a Note, Thinking of You. Let's see what's on the block. Thank You is on the block. That works. Let's do the Copper Clay again for our sentiment. Just stamp that one. Perfect. All right, I'm going to die cut all of these, and then I'll be back to put the whole card together. It won't take but a second. All right, I've got all of my pieces die cut, and we're just gonna put them together on the card front. All right, I'm going to kind of build up to make sure everything is in the right spot and doesn't stick out over the sides of the card before I actually go ahead and glue everything. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of glue on the edges, and because I'm gonna, once I have this all set, I'm going to end up popping the whole shebang. Oops, I've got glue on my hands. Popping the whole shebang up with dimensionals. So this way I just get a good quick look to make sure everything is where I want it. And all right, and dimensionals. Let's see. I think I have my whole craft space nice and organized, and then I get on camera and I can't find anything. Isn't that the way it goes? So I'm just going to stick a bunch of these around, and I don't want to put them too far out on the edges because I want it to only be on the piece of early espresso, just because you don't want any of the adhesive to prevent the flap from opening. So I think that's pretty good. And take off the backings now and get it set down. Oh, I almost forgot one thing before I put this down. Let's see. I want to put a piece of the copper ribbon underneath my leaves. So let's see, maybe right there. That looks like it works. Maybe I'll put one more dimensional, wedge it in there just to make sure the ribbon stays. You can't have too many dimensionals, right? Everything has to be stuck on very sturdily. All right, let's make sure that none of the adhesive is sticking out the back. Oh, a little bit on that one, so we'll just slide that up a little bit. Press it all down. Going to trim the ribbon just a tiny bit. And while I was die cutting, I went ahead and die cut my insert. So we've got, it's this long skinny die that just has these dots, and it just makes these nice little perforations down the side. And just line those up, and I'm also going to do a quick stamp of some more leaves. Use the Pretty Peacock, and how did I do the other one? Did some leaves right there, so you can see it when you pop it open. And it's like a nice little surprise on each layer of the card as you get into opening it. So there we go. So you've got your nice texture with the tile embossing folder, you've got your pretty colored leaves, you've got your nice All About Autumn Designer Series paper, which is finally back in stock. I hope it's still in stock by the time this video posts. We've been waiting a long time to be able to sell that, so I'm glad that's here. And then the oxidized copper with the Pretty Peacock blue. Oh, and look at that. It's homemade, isn't it? That's all right. A little bit of ink never hurt any card. So, and then now we need to do the envelope, which I'm just going to do real quick. Where's my envelope? Here's my envelope. I'm just going to match the leaves. I always just match one of the elements from the card onto the envelope. And also, can't forget the hand stamp, because everybody wants to know that you've made it for them. Custom made Might not be one of a kind if you've used the same papers, but custom nonetheless. And I hope you've enjoyed learning how to make this fun fold, and I really thank Kimberly for sending me the original that she had made so that I could see how it was put together. It was really fun to make my own but use the same elements, and it's just kind of a fun card to make for the fall. And maybe you put a happy Thanksgiving sentiment, and you've got some Thanksgiving cards ready to send out. So leave some comments if you want to like, share, join my channel so you can see all the new cards that I post. And everything used to make this card can be found on my Stampin' Up! Website. You can search Stampin'Up.com, Amanda Mertz as your demonstrator, and you can order all the supplies, and I've listed those throughout the video. But if there's something you want to know more about, just leave a comment and I'll get back to you. Thanks so much for watching.